Okay, we'll take a roll call vote to call them from the closed session and reopen into open meeting.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Here.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Here.
Mueller.
Here.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. We're now back in open meeting. Do we have a motion to put the ordinance authorizing sale of 44.723 acres to Illinois Valley Green to untable it and put it back on the floor?
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Putoff to, I'll say activate. I don't know. I've never read this in the book. To put it back on the floor. Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Okay, that motion's approved. Now do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second. I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Sapienza to approve the ordinance as written and read. If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Nay.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Nay.
Sapienza.
Aye. Motion approved. If there's no further business, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf for adjournment. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Call a regular city council meeting Monday, May 19th, 2014 to order. Clerk call the roll, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf.
Here.
Lukosius.
Here.
Perez.
Here.
Radke.
Here.
Mueller.
Here.
Sapienza. Mayor Harrell.
Here, pledge of allegiance.
No presentations, Your Honor.
Okay, economic development, Mr. Vickery.
Thank you, Mayor Harrell, members of the council. We're very pleased to be here this evening to announce another new business that is coming to Peru to construct a new building. We found out just last week, I think it was Friday morning, early, the following correspondence came to Mayor Harrell, which I will read into the record. Dear Mayor Harrell, please be advised that Kin Properties has just executed our lease with Advanced Auto Parts. Our plans are to develop and construct a 6,985 square foot freestanding retail automotive store to be located on the hard corner of 36th Street in Illinois Route 251 in front of the former Kmart. Kin Properties recently engaged C&T Architects to design plans for the project in advance of executing the lease with Advanced Auto Parts. Now that the lease is signed and we have site plan approval and building permits, we expect to break ground within the next 2 weeks. We anticipate Advanced Auto Parts will be open for business in the November timeframe. Our contractor is LMG Company. I would be remiss in this email, but I did not mention the excellent support your entire staff has provided to us and to our contractors. We thank you for everyone's effort, and we look forward to continuing to work with the City of Peru as we still have nearly 60,000 square feet of the 100,000 square foot Kmart building to lease. Should you have any questions, please feel free to call.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Comments?
Plus, there's quite a bit of the other real estate in the building that's moving also.
Well,
I've
there's
some-
interest. Yeah, there's interest in the entire building. Now, what exactly will come of it, whether the leases can be put together. This was a long process. Several months and months and months went by, but we expect that entire corner to really have an extreme makeover. It's going to look a lot different than it did as we know it for all those years. That be all?
Great job.
Thank you, Bob. Do we have any public comment cards filled out?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, do we have a motion to receive the regular meeting minutes, May 5th, 2014, placed on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Waldorf, to receive the minutes and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Do we have a motion to receive the sales, home rule, telecommunication tax receipts for February 2014, placed on file?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to receive the reports and place on file. Is there any discussion?
You know, Your Honor, I just wanted to note the month of February, which again, if you read a lot of the economic news, that sales are down in retail, but yet it looks like we are up just slightly from the previous year. So that's good news, and it should bode well for March and April also. So that is positive.
You know, on that, Dave, national Walmart sales have been down 5 quarters straight.
And certainly with the weather, you see what car dealerships have done, probably their worst quarter in many, many years. So that is positive.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Move right to committee. Accounts and Finance, Alderman Putoff, Alderman Radke.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to submit to the City Council disbursements for May 21st, the year 2014. The disbursements include $2,196,631.74. I'd like to motion to be received, placed on file, the bills paid in the usual manner.
Second.
Alderman Radke.
Voice sounds different than that.
Yeah, it's got
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to receive the disbursements placed on file and the bills paid in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk. Call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Another item that we discussed at the Finance Committee was tonight is to be a motion to commit funds in the amount of $6,500 to the Illinois Valley Multi-Model Freight Feasibility Study Grant as requested by the LaSalle County Board. And Mr. Vickery, can you comment a little bit of what the premise is?
This is a study by the Illinois Department of Transportation in LaSalle County. It's 80% funded by the money flows from the federal government to the state government to IDOT, and IDOT funds 80% of this study. Mike Hartstead, the Director of Land Services for LaSalle County, is here. Mike, can you come up and he knows he's really heading it up for the county, so it might be better that he answer the question.
You want me to give you a brief synopsis? Okay. About 3 or 4 months ago, the mayor of Streator, Mr. Lansford, met with Governor Quinn accidentally at a conference down in Springfield. And the governor encouraged the mayor to begin investigation of establishing a multimodal feasibility study for the Illinois Valley area due to the fact there was some money available. Unfortunately, the city of Streator does not have the opportunity, the way the grants are put together, to receive such a grant, that it had to come through the county of LaSalle. They contacted Mr. Jerry Hicks, the chairman of the county board, and Mr. Hicks had decided to make this a much larger scope project that runs from basically Hennepin to Seneca, from Pontiac up to Mendota. Over the past 3 or 4 months, an ad hoc committee had gotten together and was working on putting the scope of the project together. When it was submitted to the State of Illinois Department of Transportation, they wanted some bullet points focused on. And I will tell you, I do have a copy of the scope here. The Peru Regional Airport was identified as one of the facilities to do the study on. The idea is to take highways, railways, the waterways, and airways and try to interconnect them a little bit better for future, for any possible economic development that may take place. In the process, the governor ensured the mayor that we would get the grant, and recently we have a verbal confirmation that LaSalle County will receive a grant valued at $325,000 to do the study. Hopefully it's not going to cost us that much. But unfortunately, there is a 20% in-kind share that must be done. So what we've done is reached out to different municipalities and organizations, including public utilities, to help pay the 20%, which will be almost $65,000. Our goal was to get approximately 10 communities and/or public utilities to invest $6,500 apiece to come up with that amount of money. I will tell you the first donor in the project was Spring Valley, and of course the second one was Pontiac, was a very large industrial park. And of course we have Streeter, the City of Ottawa, the Ottawa Port District. There is a possibility that we could end up with greater than the $65,000 that is needed. In a letter from Mr. Jerry Hicks, Chairman of the Board, to all the municipalities and all the possible donors, if it should exceed the final amount of the grant of the 20%, each donor will be calculated out to get their same percentage back to them that they put in that created the excess.
Thanks.
I have 9 copies. I have one for the mayor. But we still, there's a lot of documentation if you want it.
I really like the idea from the fact that it brings all the communities together looking for that ultimate goal of more jobs. I mean, even if it's located in another area besides the city of Prue, we all benefit with the jobs created from it, and I think the project has great potential.
You know, we had been asked by the public to reach out to some of the private industries, and as you know, some of the industries in the local area are making quite a bit of money. It was suggested to us by the Illinois Department of Transportation not to go that route. That's not politically correct. To reach out to the communities and the public utilities who would benefit from any economic development that could take place in the future. So here we are this evening, and as a representative from LaSalle County, I am hoping that you will seriously consider donating $6,500 to this grant project. Yep. You can have the one blue one.
Okay, we have a motion, have an explanation. Do we have a,
I don't think we have a motion yet.
yeah, Alderman,
I will make that motion, Your Honor, to commit funds in the amount of $6,500 for the multi-module freight feasibility grant.
Second.
have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to commit the funds in an amount of $6,500 to Illinois Valley Multimodal Freight Feasibility Study Grant. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
I will say this, Mayor, before I depart. When the grant is received and the RFPs are sent out to certified consultants to review this, a person from each donating organization or municipality will be asked to be on the committee to oversee the project and do the picking of that consulting group. So, just to let you know, I want to thank you for your time and effort and for your donation to the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Anything further from Council Finance?
Just as far as economic development action, there's probably more development in action now than there has been for the last several years. You see a lot of hits on our website, a lot of additional stuff that the city is doing and putting out there that is pretty unique. So we should see additional businesses, additional economic opportunity as the months go on. Alderman Radke, anything else to add?
Public Works, Alderman Waldorf, Alderman Lukosius.
Yes, Your Honor. Tonight I would like to make a motion to seek bids for a 40 by 100 foot cold storage building as an addition to the electric department.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Waldorf, to seek bids for a 40 by 100 cold storage building, in addition to the electric department. Is there any discussion?
Could you give us a little update on that? Yeah, when the electric department building was constructed, there was an additional pad to the north of the building, a 40 by 100 foot, and they've been storing materials outside like big spools of wire. And what happens is the spools get rotten from the weather, and it makes them very difficult to use after that they come off the spools. So what they want to do, and they have other equipment that they'd like to get inside also. The building is not going to be heated. It's not going to be insulated. It's just going to be a structure to keep the weather off the off the materials and the equipment. And then it will also give us an opportunity to clean up that property up there somewhat in those old barns and buildings that are on that farm. Those buildings are in pretty bad shape, and we have some materials and equipment stored in there now, and it's just not the best spot for it. So we'll be able to get it out of there.
Sounds good.
If there's no further discussion, we'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Aye. Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, next I'd like to make a motion to award the bid for the 2014 Street Improvement Program non-motor fuel tax to the lowest bidder, Len Trevero, in the amount of $601,901.50.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius to award 2014 Street Improvement Program non-MFT to lowest bidder Len Trevero in the amount of $601,901.50. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, this includes the North Pulaski Street repair. So $139,000 of this, $1,000 of this, plus their share of the engineering goes to the township and the intergovernmental agreement that we will approve with them, I believe, later tonight.
Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve a change order in the amount of a $10,000 credit to the city, to Hannigan Wrecking for Kings Inn demolition.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius to approve a change order in the amount of $10,000 to Hennigan Wrecking in the Kings Inn demolition. Is there any discussion?
Jeff, could you update us a little bit, give us a little more information of that?
Yeah, basically what that was is we're gonna leave some blacktop laid out on there that the next developer will come in and either use or get rid of it their own. But with that leaving on there, it actually ended up being about $18,400 because $8,400 of the change order also came from the fence that they're gonna keep up for up to a year around there for site security. So we did get a little bit more than 10,000, but we're getting 10,000 in a change order. So.
Thank you.
So that's a 10,000 positive.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion from Alderman Waldorf, second from Alderman Lukosius. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to authorize bidding for the St. John's Addition and 28th Street flood mitigation projects.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
I have a motion from Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius to authorize bidding for the St. John's Addition and 28th Street flood mitigation project. Is there any discussion? A roll call vote.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, just to announce, 2 weeks from today, June 2nd, we'll be having a Public Works Committee meeting starting at 10 a.m. here in City Hall. Anyone that would like to attend certainly is welcome. And lastly, Your Honor, I'd like to send out a big thanks and a lot of credit to the Public Works Department of LaSalle. In between Church Street and Peoria Street, we had 4 different spots where we had some bad valves. And the first one, there was, I don't have my paperwork here. They sent 3 men and an insert-a-valve machine over and spent a day repairing a valve so that we didn't have to turn water on in the northwest quadrant of the city. There were only 3 homes that had a boil order and were out of water for a while. That was done live with the water running. So they sent some people over and helped us out in a big way, and we just want to give them a big thanks from the city of Peru. And pardon me? Yeah, and we used their valve too, and then replaced it. So it was a very good deal, and we'll be there for them when they need us, and they certainly were there for us. So thank you.
I got a question, Your Honor.
Yes, Alderman Ferrari.
Maybe Mike Perry. When are they gonna start on that
Trevero with their streets.
With the award tonight, we'll get contracts out, and it'll be June. They'll intend to work on the non-motor fuel tax work when they're doing, or in conjunction with the surface on Shooting Park Road. So probably by the
The
middle
only
of
reason
June.
I'm asking is that North Pulaski Street needs to be jumped on as soon as possible.
Yep, they will. They're in town paving, so they'll get on it as quick as they can.
Thank you.
The work on Shooting Park Road is gonna take another 30 days, so I don't know if they're not gonna do, North Pulaski in the middle of that, right?
I would think not,
No.
but whatever they can do. As soon as they get contracts, we'll get you a firm date.
Their equipment's parked on Pulaski, off of Pulaski, so they're close by.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll put a letter together and send it over to the city of LaSalle, thanking them for their efforts.
That would be excellent.
Would you make sure we have all the
Get that across,
furthermores,
that'd be
we'll
great.
put a letter together? All right. Anything else from Public Works? Public Health and Safety, Alderman Ferrari, Alderman Sapienza.
Your Honor, I have the approved fire reports for the pay period ending May 10th, 2014. They received and responded to a total of 12 calls for that period, for a total payroll of $2,930.34. I'd like to make a motion to accept the report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion from Alderman Sapienza, second from Alderman Ferrari to receive the approved fire department report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, Chief King has just put in 240 hours worth of work. I'd like for you to respond to that a little bit, Jeff. You know, education is so important, especially to me tonight, but
What we've done is there's actually 5 members. 4 of us have completed our Technician B hazmat training, which is 240 hours. Rodney is up through Tech A, he still has Tech B to finish, another 40, and then he'll be the same way. But what that does is the Mavis Division 25 has a hazardous material team, which we respond in our Division 25 area. With us all being certified to that makes us eligible for a deployment list. So if anything happens in the continental United States, we can be deployed to go to any of those to help out any of our other Mavis divisions, or like back when Hurricane Katrina happened and we deployed down there, we set up as a hazmat team, decon and things. So there's a lot of things that this helps with, but especially around here, our team responds offensively to anything on Interstate 80, 39, anywhere around here in the county's area that Division 25 is in. We currently have, I believe we have 14 deployable people on our list right now from various fire departments.
Chief, do you want to say a few words about your dive certification and your plans for that?
Yeah, currently right now, Prue Fire Department has the only dive team in 3 counties, and a couple years ago we were at the point of either disbanding or making it better. And I approached the dive team and the dive team commander, told him where I was at, and he came back to me, he says, well, we need to upgrade our equipment. If we upgrade our equipment, I'm sure we're going to get more involvement. Well, we did do that. I sent letters out to various businesses through our 2% and through Liberty. We just invested a little over $15,000 in new dive equipment, communications, underwater communications, so it allows 4 of us to be able to go underwater and communicate back to the commander to let them know what's going on. Primarily around here, when we dive, we're diving in zero visibility, and communications is the only way we can really do anything, do an effective search or anything that we're doing. So what we've come up with, Mavis wants us to be, we have to take this, it's a course called Public Safety Diver. Currently, our expertise ranges from being just a recreational PADI diver to advanced to rescue divers. We have all of them on there. By taking this course, we're supposed to be with Mavis again, so we can work with the Mavis department. So we're looking at upgrading 10 divers to the public safety diver level.
You know, all this would be real easy to just accept before you did all this education and everything, but it shows a real commitment of the personnel that you're working with and yourself to upgrade this and go through all this schooling and everything just to make things better. I'm sure you could have gotten by without doing that, and I want to congratulate you. It is a real commitment to do that. Thank you.
And it goes to, to the firemen. They all got, other than the 4 full-time drivers, they all got other jobs, and we're taking them away from their family, and 240 hours is a lot of training, plus now throwing this on it. So it's a commitment to the firefighters.
Thank you, Chief. Your Honor, I also have the Peru Volunteer Ambulance report for May 6, 2014. They responded to 190 patient calls during the month of April for a total mileage of 7,924 miles. I'd like to make a motion to accept the report and put it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Ferrari, to receive the approved volunteer ambulance report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Chief Burnaby, you got anything on the police, or? I think that's all we have, Your Honor.
Public Property Committee, Alderman Perez, Alderman Mueller.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to recreation?
Go ahead. Yes. I have the Pre-Recreation Fund Cash Account Summary Report for a period ending April 30th, 2014. Total funds available April 2014 was $26,887.85. At the same time last year, funds available were $13,578.32. I'd like to make a motion, we accept this report and place it on file.
I'll second that.
Have a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the pre-recreation report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, I have the Peru Public Library cash account summary for the period ending April 30th, 2014. Total funds available are $298,096.48. I'd like to make a motion that we receive this report and place it on file.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Perez, to receive the Peru Public Library report and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, we have a motion to authorize agreement for application, administration, and coordination services for an open space land acquisition and development grant on behalf of the City of Peru. With that, $2,000, which will cover the application fee, will be paid by contribution from the Park and Recreation Board. With that grant process, there's the $2,000 application fee, which will come from the board, along with a $4,000 administration fee, which will need to be covered by the city. The grant will be for a total of $512,100, with the cost being $256,050, which would be the city cost. $100,000 of that will come from the Friends for Peru pool, $33,000 from the library. Total cost for city, if all goes through, would be $123,050.50. There have been some additional information that had come forward. If we could have Nora Fesco maybe address the council with some of the additional information, that would be great.
Be the norm tonight. Thank you, everyone. Nora Fesco from North Central Illinois Council of Governments. I've been here for several meetings and working with the group on the Peru Splash Pad. That is the number today, $512,100, our total project cost. I have talked with Mike Perry, the engineer on the project, making sure that we're covering everything, because once your grant goes in, even if your costs come in a little higher, they're never going to give you any more money than what they set that number at, because they spend every dollar. So it may go up a little bit just to make sure we have money in there to cover any engineering supervision or surveying that may need to be done. And once we detail out the senior activity features. So I just wanted to make that point. And also, every year the guidelines are updated for this program, and this year, and I had to read it like 3 times in order to, believe it, what it said, but, I've been pounding that this is a reimbursement program, and you have to do the whole project and then ask for reimbursement for that at the end. But they're saying now for development projects, they're going to give an advance payment of 50% of the grant award sometime after the grant awards are announced. To have that money to you know, get the project started and help cover those bills as they come in, and then the 50% reimbursement will come at the end of the project. So that's a nice change to the program. I think that's, and if anybody has any questions about it, you know.
Alderman Weed?
Aside from the splash pad, what else is planned for, what else are we asking for
We're
with the
planning,
grant?
one thing about the Department of Natural Resources that is good is they kind of help you develop a project that they feel fits their program well and is competitive. And in their opinion, although I don't know that I agree, a splash pad is a youth activity, and they like to see projects that have activities for all ages. So we talked about that, and they gave us several ideas, and just working with parks over the years. So we've added bocce ball courts and sand volleyball court or courts, picnic tables, passive recreation is recreation, so I'm glad about that. Picnic tables with checkers and Scrabble, and was there something else? Horseshoes. So those are things you can do relatively inexpensively, and you obviously have a committee. Some of that, they may even be able to have some donated labor, which we can't count as like a cash injection, but it also frees up more cash. So if you need to maybe buy some equipment or some things like that, we should have enough in the budget for that.
Just one question I had, and I think you covered this at the last public forum that you had. I don't want to infringe the grant by any means, but it seems to me that the majority of it is coming for a parking lot, or quite a bit of the money is coming from a parking lot.
39%.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure we need a parking lot for this event, for a splash pad, and I'd hate to see it. I hate to see the grant be put on doubt because we're putting so much money into a parking grant.
Well, they have a pretty detailed scoring system, and they do say they understand that you need infrastructure for recreation, restrooms, lighting, street parking, all those kinds of things. They just don't want that to be the majority of the grant. So if it's less than 40% of your budget, then you won't lose points because you have too much money into infrastructure development. So that was the goal, and Mike and the crew worked to make sure that balance was met.
It also addresses the issue with access to the bike track.
Yeah, at a minimum, we would have to have a handicap parking spaces and an accessible path from the parking to the splash pad. I mean, and they have the same feeling, Alderman. The purpose of the program is outdoor recreation, so that's why they encourage.
What's the cost breakdown again, Alderman, just for the minutes? Of the $5, $12, and $100, $100,000 is from Friends Approved Pool?
Yes.
$33,000?
Yep, 33 from the library, and the total was $512,100. So the total cost from the city would be $123,050.50, the total after.
What's the library, 50% of the parking lot? Is that their intention to pay for it?
It's a little less, probably closer to 40%.
40%.
I'm not that good at math in my head.
So I made the motion to go forward with the grant.
I'll second that.
Yeah, we've had a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? All right, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Also, Your Honor, we have the resolution of authorization for the State of Illinois IDNR, O's Land and LWCF project application. Make the motion
I'll second that.
for that resolution.
Have a motion by Alderman Perez, second by Alderman Mueller, to authorize for the State of Illinois IDNR O's-Land LWCF project application. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Makosha.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Also, Your Honor, the Park Board, in recognition of the National Bike Month, the approved Park and Recreation will be sponsoring an event called Snack In on Your Bike, held at the Maud Powell Plaza this Saturday from 9 to 1. Anyone out riding on Saturday can make a pit stop at Maud Powell for water, orange juice, and fresh fruit. Bikelists of all ages are welcome. They would like for me to make that announcement for them. Other than that, I have nothing further. Alderman Mueller?
That'll do it.
Alderman, is that all day?
That's from 9 to 1.
I know, okay.
Snack in.
The park. Wait, snacking on your bike.
Snack with Maud.
Snacking with Maud.
Okay, report city attorney ordinances, resolutions.
Yes, Your Honor, we have an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Peru and Town of Peru Road District. This concerns the project that was let out for bid, and you received those bids last Friday. And Len Trevero Construction was the lowest responsible bidder for the project. The Illinois Constitution encourages intergovernmental cooperation agreements. And this will be authorizes an intergovernmental agreement by and between the city and the town of Peru. We don't normally call it Peru Township, but under the statute it's Town of Peru, and it's the road district. The Town of Peru Road District, as you know, is separate and apart from the Town of Peru or Peru Township itself, and Mr. Debo is the highway commissioner of the road district, so he'd be the signatory on the contract. As Alderman Waldorf had pointed out, the total project cost, now this would include the engineering, construction, and inspection, and material testing, was $673,360.67. The city's portion would be $516,998.01, and the Peru Township portion's $156,362.65. Obviously, those figures could change, but based on the bids, that's the way they are now. Final construction costs could change based on actual quantities, change orders or whatever, and then the soft costs or the engineering costs would be changed according to the actual hard costs.
Those figures are different than the figures that I had.
No, they're the same, but mine added in the engineering.
Thank you.
I think you might have missed one number. It's 671,360.67. 671,360.
No, it's changed to 673, and the reason for that is the total cost. It'd be under Midwest Testing. Yours shows 2,000. This has 4,000, which is probably a very heavy estimate. But that wasn't part of the breakdown. So Mr. Riquetta changed that this afternoon for me. But that 4,000 for Midwest Testing is probably heavy cost. But that isn't one of the things that's proportionate, and because my exhibits B and C weren't equaling my exhibit A, so that's how that came out, right. Yeah, there's 2,000 allotted to the city and 2,000 to the road district.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Makosha.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
The next item on the agenda is the ordinance authorizing the execution of an agreement with the city and Mary Noonan for Concerts for a Cause. The ordinance is a basic ordinance authorizing the agreement, the same as was presented. Previously adopted ordinances 4891 and 4926, and also most recently 4989. The agreement itself is for 2 concerts, which are currently scheduled. One has been publicly announced by the promoter, Sunday, July 13th, and there's also another date pending, which is Saturday, August the 16th. The agreement itself is the same as the last agreement that we had with the promoter. Things of note in this agreement, in the last page, which is page 5, the layout approval is the same layout that was previously approved by the Illinois Department of Transportation Division of Aeronautics. The airport fee is the same fee, $1 per ticket. The change here is not a major change, but it says the user agrees to pay a minimum amount of $6,800 regardless of ticket sales. That would be highly unlikely that there wouldn't be a total ticket sales of more than $6,800 for these 2 events, but in the event that that would happen, the city would be essentially compensated for the revenue that would be generated by the parking property being in farm crop. Additionally, under the City of Peru direction, the user agrees to follow any additional requirements or directions issued by the mayor of the city, the chief of police, the fire chief, and or the City of Peru Airport Management. The user's monetary cost to implement any additional requirements or directions shall not exceed $4,100. That is referring to the city's cost relating to security during these events. The police department evaluates the event, the ticket sales, and then tasks accordingly for security, for public safety inside of the event. And to date, the largest event we've had a cost of approximately $4,100. So it may not be $4,100, it may be less than $4,100, but the user agrees to pay the cost for security as designated by the chief for the event as evaluated. And then similar to the last concert, both concerts last year, the city will be taking responsibility for the parking and the overall security outside of the venue. So same as last year in terms of layout, same as $1 per ticket, with the exception of the $6,800 minimum, and then the security as last year. And of course, I'll be asking all you guys and gals and friends and family to participate in the parking with me again this year.
Dave, I did have a question. According to my ordinance that I have in front of me printed, it has a concert date of July 3rd. Is that accurate?
Oh no, that's there in error. The concert dates are should be the 13th. Properly in the facility use agreement under premises number 1, but it is not. There needs to be I'll make that change. Yeah.
You know, the only issue I have is I don't have a problem with Mary Noonan Concerts for Cause. I have a problem with, I heard it on the radio that she already had some schedule. We never even discussed this on the floor. This is the first time I've seen this. I didn't even know it was in the back, or Alderman Waldor just gave it to me.
Well, I actually had communicated on a pretty regular basis with Alderman Lukosius. He's seems to be the alderman that's got the point on public works on the airport side of things. So he has been communicated with on a regular basis. I've also communicated with the chief, both in his role as the public works manager and also as the chief. So it has been communicated, and it's unfortunate that the news gets out and the promoter puts information out there that hasn't been approved by the city. I don't have any control over that, but we're just trying to follow the proper procedure and get everything in for approval.
So asking Alderman, do we have all the state stuff we need and approvals and?
Our, all of the footprint information that was used in, previous concerts is going to be used again, and it's all been submitted according to the airport manager. They don't have any problem with it, so it should be a go.
I just had a couple quick.
Okay, and like I said, I was just handed to me now, the cleanup, on Sunday, who's responsible for that?
Well, the city is responsible for everything outside of the venue, and the promoter is responsible for everything inside the venue.
So again, we're gonna spend overtime, sending overtime guys up there on Sunday to clean the airport.
It'll be on Monday, correct? On Monday?
Yeah, certainly the potential exists for overtime, and it's been part of the cost associated with the concert every year we've done them. Nothing new.
That is one of the reasons that we charge for parking, to cover the cost of that.
Well, okay, I'm gonna ask, like I said, I don't have a problem. I'm gonna ask Jeff King and Chief Burnaby to keep track of our hours this year. Manpower, how much it actually costing us.
We have those figures tracked, and not only did we track those figures, but those figures have been reported to the Division of Aeronautics per their audit. Every concert that we've done out there, or should I say the last 3 concerts, have been audited by the Division of Aeronautics. They are making sure that every dollar that's expended is paid for and accounted for. And it's worth noting that for accounting purposes, the Division of Aeronautics would like all revenue generated from the event, that being ticket sales and parking revenue, to benefit the airport 100%, and all expenses associated with the event to come from other funds.
So how come in the years past when we asked the question how many manpower hours were at that airport and how much the answer was never answered?
I can give you the dollars and cents for both of the shows last time, man by man, hour by hour. I have it.
You have that. I would
Yes,
like
sir.
to see that, please.
Okay.
Yeah, just a few questions I had. It appears that the city's going to be made whole from the farmland or the lost production.
Well, that's the goal, for sure.
Okay. Or the fees will make us whole.
Correct.
That's insured.
That's correct.
Okay, and we'll recoup the cost for police, fire, everything else will be recouped and billed. One thing I have to ask Doug a question for: does her liability insurance provide for, by the concert promoter, provide for volunteers?
I'm not involved at all, Alderman. I'm sorry.
The volunteer issue is one that we addressed with the Illinois Municipal League, and there's, as members of the Municipal League, as our insurer, they do offer coverage for our volunteers, some specific coverage, but there are some gaps in that coverage that aren't under our Municipal League umbrella, and we've looked into and intend on making sure that those volunteers, I think there's a minimum of premium that covers 100 volunteers.
Well, why wouldn't the concert promoter have that under her workman's compensation insurance?
Well, that certainly can be included. The only volunteers I'm talking about are the ones that are
city
part
provided.
of the outside. What her volunteers on the inside are should be noted within her coverages on the inside of the event.
Can you get that from her?
Sure.
Provide it?
I can ask for it.
If we get insurance through the Illinois Municipal League for volunteers, is that for a one-time event, or is that for like an annual deal?
That's all the time.
We cover other volunteers that do stuff for the
Yes,
city?
we addressed that when it came to the plantings, people coming out and helping plant flowers and be involved with the garden programs. And yes, if we went, we are covered volunteers for certain things, but they're I think one concerned resident gave me a scenario. What would happen if a resident was volunteering and they got run over by a car in the parking lot? Well, that wouldn't be an accident as a result of a city, something that they were doing. That would fall into that gap. So there is additional coverage that we can get to make sure our volunteers are protected, and it had a minimum premium. I don't recall what it was. It wasn't a significant amount of money, but it would cover up to 100 volunteers.
I was thinking more in lines, Jim, if somebody was hurt on a burner or an oven that was volunteering, that the promoter would be in charge of handling that from, like you would a workman's compensation issue,
Right.
and not the city, not on the city's policy.
Right.
And then the other thing, and maybe Jim, you can help us, Chuck has stated too that, the construction coming up at the airport, timetables and timelines like that, I just want to be assured that this won't hinder us at all.
Well, I can't give you that assurance, but the timelines that have been given to us, they should coincide very well with the, with these concerts going off and not interfering with any of the construction. Mary, however, has been informed that, the construction is not going to stop, to accommodate her for a concert. So she's aware of that.
Good.
I made contact with Chuck on Saturday, and he assured me that everything was going to be okay with the construction and the concerts for both of them.
Do we have a motion?
Okay, I'll make that a motion that we authorize the execution of this agreement.
Second, Your Honor.
We have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius, to authorize execution of agreement by the City of Peru and Mary Noonan Concerts for a Cause. Is there any further discussion? Have a roll call vote. Call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke. Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Yes, the next administrative variances would be approved by the zoning officer, the alderman of that ward, and the zoning board of appeals chairman concerning administrative variances for the Bruce Visconti property at 2717 6th Street. And he desires to construct a larger detached garage. The variances would increase the maximum floor area for that detached garage from 990 square feet to 1,080. And the west side yard setback would be reduced from 5 feet to 3 feet. The north rear yard setback would be reduced from 5 feet to 3 feet. And the ground floor area of the detached garage and accessory structures as compared to the total rear yard area can be increased from 25% to 42%.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
I'll make a motion that we approve that as written and read.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Lukosius, second by Alderman Putoff to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, I have an ordinance authorizing the sale of 44.723 acres of real estate to Illinois Valley Green LLC. That's the largest portion of the former Foster Grant Huntsman landfill property, which would be at the southwest corner of the old Spur Road and Illinois Route 251. Although 7 acres of the total property down there is the footprint of the old Foster Grant landfill. That'll be retained by the city because you still have another 2 years, I believe, of post-closure care responsibilities for that. So this sale would be the balance of that property, which, as you know, is largely the lake area because that's where the borrow pit was for landfill cover on the north side of the road. And there would be an easement of ingress-egress where the existing roadway goes that would be over the footprint of the Foster Grant landfill. The property, with that easement, the purchaser would take sole responsibility for the maintenance of the easement, because the city wouldn't otherwise need it except for the any testing that would be done on that landfill, but the wastes that are in that landfill are not that significant. And the sale agreement would also require the purchaser to remove, break up, whatever, the stacked reinforced concrete decking that's now on that property. The property back then was on October 17, 2012, was then appraised by Doug Bieterstedt, who at that time was a state certified appraiser, and he opined the value of the property to be $75,000. And the ordinance authorized the mayor and city clerk to sign the sales contract and a quitclaim deed and proceed with the sale, if that's the council's desire.
I would ask that we, due to discussions that we had in closed sessions, that we table this so we can have some, a little bit further research and looking into it.
I'd like to agree with you.
Is that the wishes of everyone?
So I'll make that motion to table it.
Second.
I have a motion by Alderman Perez to table this. I have a second by Alderman Sapienza. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Nay.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Nay.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Okay, motion to table it approved.
Next ordinance on the agenda would repeal ordinance numbers 2904 and 2915. The first ordinance established the Business District Development Redevelopment Commission. The second, and that was passed on July 29, 1991. And then on September 9, 1991, Ordinance 2915 was passed, which established the boundaries of the district. The Redevelopment Commission ordinance accomplished its purposes by allowing the acquisition and raising of numerous old and dilapidated structures in downtown Peru, which were replaced by new buildings, respectively, containing an endodontist, dentist, appraisers, ophthalmologists, optometrists, physical therapists, physicians, insurance agents, a restaurant, and a new city municipal building. Whereas the purposes and objectives of the Redevelopment Commission ordinance and Redevelopment District ordinance have now been fulfilled and no longer are necessary. And since the adoption of those ordinances, the city on December 7, 2009, duly passed and adopted Ordinance 4660, entitled an ordinance creating a design review committee and providing procedures for the operation thereof, and whereas any remaining objectives to be accomplished by the Redevelopment Commission ordinance and Redevelopment District ordinance are and can be now accomplished by the Design Review Committee ordinance, and it is redundant and costs to the city and burdensome to developers to seek the approval of both the Redevelopment Commission and Design Review Committee for projects in downtown Peru. And therefore be it ordained, the Redevelopment Commission ordinance shall be and is hereby repealed. The Redevelopment District ordinance shall be and is hereby repealed. Ordinance shall be effective immediately.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
I have a few questions on this, Your Honor, if I may. I really don't have a problem with disbanding this. I'm just kind of concerned about the process. What brought the disbanding of it forward, and has there been a formal meeting with the Downtown Redevelopment Committee to discuss the disbanding of it?
There was a meeting last week. There was not a quorum. They're down to 2 members. I don't see asking for other members. There's redundancy, and I just don't see it.
Was it discussed to disband it?
I informed the 2 members that were here that I was going to ask the council to dissolve it, yes.
Okay. Also, from my understanding, there were members that are interested parties wanting to be part of that organization, but we never did anything on that. Are there other interested parties wanting to be part of?
I have paperwork submitted that there are 4 others, 3 or 4, but once again, I would rather dissolve the committee. It's a redundant committee, and we don't need it.
So there's two left standing on this committee. Would they be appointed to the other, or have that first opportunity to be appointed to the, I believe we're going to need three more for...
We will have to address that. As it's written right now, it needs to be changed. If there'll be three, right now there's one. The Design and Review Committee is suggesting that the mayor and the building inspector be advisory only. They want us to remain members, but advisory only. And in the case, if there is less than 8 members present, then it would be a voting position. And as far as the question you asked about the 2 members that, as you say, left standing, they could put their name in for letters of interest, and I would do the same thing as I've done for every other appointment that I've made.
It just seems like since they've been part of this, or the committee's been part since, I think, 1990, was it 91 or so?
91.
That we really should have, in all due respect to them, and whoever has served on that over the years, had called a formal meeting with them to discuss it, and you know, give them the thanks and appreciation that they deserve for everything that they've done. And it's just one of the things that I think that we should have went forward with, because I don't believe they went into that meeting knowing that there was only going to be 2 of them there, and there was going to be any discussion with disbanding it, or getting rid of that committee. So if there's anything that we could do for them, you know.
Once again, there'll be positions available. If this passes, then we'll have to address the design and review, and I'll go through the same procedure. I'll ask for letters of interest. I will also consult the committee that those that are appointed will be going on, and to make sure that you're going to have a committee that will work together.
I believe we have 2 of the members here, and I just want to thank you for everything that you've done and put in for the downtown development, and appreciate you. That's all I have.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Your Honor, one other additional thing, the design and review will take over those same
The design and review covers...
or issues that
Exactly.
they were doing. Right?
It covers corporate boundaries, north, south, east, west. And the downtown development, redevelopment, primarily they were formed during the large amount of condemnation, demolition, and rebuild downtown. And I imagine the other committees were a little bit full at the time, and you needed a committee to look at that and that only.
Well, the reason that ordinance was passed in 1991, because it gave you the right of eminent domain. And that's why the Downtown Redevelopment Commission was established then, because it gave you the power to condemn the old and dilapidated buildings under the threat of eminent domain. As you recall, if you think back then, I mean, what were some of the buildings? Were Happy's Corner, No Saloon, the Vogue Dress Shop that hadn't been open in decades. Ted Dawson had a rat-infested 4-apartment building. That's true. I mean, Harry Debo and I walked that alley one time and saw a rat come out of that apartment building, and that's where the physician's office is now. Dr. Kinsella and the physical therapist, and you know, and Flo's, where now you have Dr. Cerisa. I mean, there's an awful lot accomplished, I think, and I think take pride in our downtown compared to most municipalities. So it was a job well done, I believe.
Also, Bob Vickery's been, he has like a group, I guess it's the Route 6 development. Now, does that play a role into the design and review at all? Or are they kind of teaming up together, or how's that playing out?
They're strictly an ad hoc group that is, together. They have not approached us for anything to be a sanctioned group by ordinance or anything. Not at this time, not that I'm aware of. So, but we will be, if this passes, we will be looking to take a few of the verbiage out of the downtown development and redevelopment, adding it to design review amongst the member changes. You have to remember our design and review, we have 3 licensed architects, we have an area builder, we have the chairman of the zoning committee, and the mayor and the building inspector. And we have room for one more, And if we change the wording in the ordinance, there'll be room for 3 more. And that's the way I would ask for it to be done. Building inspector and I will be there anyway, so.
Does the dissolution of this committee take away the right of eminent domain?
Yes, but that committee was that select area. I don't think there are any buildings, you know, you may think maybe on Fifth Street. I can think of 1 or 2, but
Or May Road.
but but that wasn't within this district. This only went from 3rd to 5th Street and then West Street to Pike. So, you know, but if you look at the number of buildings that were raised, you know, I mentioned a number of them, but there was also F&L, floor and wall covering building that was raised. Where Rich May has accounting office, that was substantially improved, you know, but that was acquired. And then there was also a 2-flat building that was raised.
So it's not that big a deal that we lose the right of eminent domain because there's nothing there to.
That's my question. Would we lose that right in this area in the future?
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay, nothing's been accomplished yet? Please keep it down in the audience, please, Artie. I don't have a motion or a second at the time. Do we have a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion that we accept it as written and read.
I'll second.
Have a motion by Alderman Kosher, second by Alderman Sapienza to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any further discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved. Is there any further ordinances?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? New business, any new business?
Yes, Your Honor, real quick, I'd just like to thank Clerk Bartley for his efforts in putting the electronic recycling together on Saturday. It was just overwhelming, and we've already talked about next time we do it, we got to move it to a different location. It was just so overwhelming, but thank you, Clerk Bartley.
Thanks, Tony.
Okay.
Your Honor, I see that later in the petitions and communications, there is a communication from the Veterans Memorial Group. I just wanted to say that the memorial the meeting time is 10:30, and they'll march over for the service at Washington Park at 11 a.m. Everybody is encouraged and welcome to attend. It'll be in Washington School if, in fact, it rains, and they won't need police, is my understanding. They will walk in the park over to the diamond, and you know, again, it's a good service, and think of the veterans.
So it's going to be outside, weather permitting?
Weather permitting.
With the backup of the gym?
In Washington School.
Okay.
One more thing, Your Honor, is last Monday we had that pretty significant storm, and I just want to compliment Jeff King and Chief Burnaby. And I've never seen a public works director out with all the incidents we had. We had 5 down power lines. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chief King. He went and checked out every location. The electric department response, it was just amazing. If we didn't have our own local electric, you know, we could be days without power. But I just want to thank the electric and public works for all the effort they put in.
Okay, petitions, communications.
Yes, Your Honor. The first communication is from Ken Mullen requesting to rezone property located at 803 to 809 21st Street.
That would be referred to the Plan Commission, and that hearing will be on June 11th at 7:15.
Do I have a motion to receive the communication, place on file, and refer to the Planning Commission for review and recommendation?
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Ferrari. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next is a communication from Teresa Ellenbrock requesting permission to hold a run walk fundraiser event in the city of Peru on August 30th and asking for police assistance. She already had requested and approved a date of September 14th, but she needed to change it.
Do you have a motion to receive communication, place on file, and grant permission?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the communication, grant permission. Is there any discussion? I'd like to say once again, please let the people know. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but as Barb and I were walking the other day, there was blue lines, and once again, blue is water, and actually there was one spot where it said water stop. So, I think we should look into, even if we buy, the political style signs, and they can come and give a check, and we give them back their check once they return them in good shape, that say 1 mile, 2 mile, and then some arrows pointing left or pointing right, and water stop and whatnot.
And
then
they sell them too on racing. Every organization will have the ability to purchase those.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Y will be doing that, and we'll have signs available to
good.
if people want to use them.
'Cause I can't stress
I
enough.
think we need to stipulate to the people putting it on that.
Well, we have been, but I don't know if it's new or not. I was on a different route the other morning and saw them. So, and once again, it's blue. If it's red, it's gas. If it's yellow, it's electric, or whatever the colors signify. But they all have a meaning to them, so we need to keep them off the road. If there's no further discussion, all in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, I have a communication from Walmart on behalf of the Children's Miracle Network requesting permission to hold a 5K run walk at Baker Lake on June 7th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
If it fits the calendar, I'll make a motion, we give them permission.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Mueller, that if it fits into the calendar, we receive the communication, place on file, and grant the permission. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next communication, Alderman Waldorf covered the Memorial Day service, but they're also asking for a $600 donation to replace broken flags.
I'll make a motion to approve that, Your Honor.
I'll second it.
Who's second? Alderman Sapienza? Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Sapienza, to receive the communication, grant permission, and authorize a $600 donation to replace broken flags. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Prokosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Next, we have a communication from the Illinois Valley Animal Rescue, IVAR, requesting permission to hold their annual Pet Fest at Baker Lake on Sunday, October 19th.
There again, if it fits the calendar, I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Have a motion from Alderman Ferrari, second from Alderman Mueller, to receive the communication from the Illinois Valley Animal Rescue for the annual Pet Fest at Baker Lake, Sunday, October 19th, and grant permission provided it fits in the calendar. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
And our last communication is from the Royal Auto, right across the street here, requesting permission to block off the west end of the parking lot along the north and west entrances to the alley behind Royal Auto for an open house and a remote control swap meet on Sunday, June 29th from 12 to 4.
I'll make the motion, Your Honor.
I'll second it.
Have a motion from Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Lukosius, to receive the communication from Royal Auto, place on file, and grant permission. Is there any discussion?
The only thing is, I wonder how you let them worry about roping it off, because there's cars parked in there all weekend. I mean, how...
Yeah, they'll have to coordinate with, like, the pool place. They always have their vehicles there, and there's an electrical contractor that'll have to still have access through there. So I'll make a note that he needs to communicate with the other businesses to not I mean, most of the retailers are closed on Sunday, but I know there's an independent electrical contractor that's in the alley there that might want access.
Speaking of retailers, I see that the smoke shop is closed, and so is, they cleared out the liquor store on Peoria Street. Good.
I don't have any further communications, Your Honor.
Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Any public? Ms. Pakiska?
We just want to announce that the next fundraiser for Friends for Peru Pool is a 50-50 drawing, and it will be held at the LaSalle Speedway. And we would ask all of you who enjoy going to the races to come and participate in our 50-50 drawing.
What night is that, Claudia?
It's Sunday, June 1st.
Mrs. McKiska, you and your team have done a fantastic job, fabulous, on your presentations and going forward with the splash pad. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're not done.
Okay, public comment. Do we have any other public comment?
I thought we were going to close session to discuss the property. I mean, the idea was to get more information, and the developer's looking for
I think that
a
would be
quick
great for-
approach, so I'd like to go to closed session to discuss the, what's the formal,
I'll second that motion.
yeah, you can. You can come back up.
That's that's on the agenda, the sale of the 44.723 acres of real estate.
Yeah, that's, there was a few aldermen who voted no just because they wanted some more questions answered, and we'd like to go into closed session to review those items.
So a motion made by Alderman Putoff and seconded by Alderman Perez to go into closed session meetings where the purchase or lease of real property for the use of a public body is considered, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired or the setting the price for the sale or lease of real estate owned by the public body if a particular property is considered. So we'll do a roll call vote. Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Okay, we'll go into closed session.